Welcome to the Strategies That Stack podcast. I'm your host, Victoria H. Boyd. I'm a corporate escapee and marketing consultant, and I'm on a mission to help you build a marketing strategy that is so stacked you become absolutely unignorable. Each week, I will bring you real stories, the actual data, and the true strategies that have propelled online creators and entrepreneurs to the top of their industries. So grab your coffee and let's jump in. What is up? Happy Thursday. Yes, I'm recording this on a Thursday because yesterday I planned to do my analysis, which I'll get into here shortly, record it, edit it, and post it all on the same day, which is honestly what I normally do with my podcast episodes. Is like I get an idea, I record it, I post it. It's all good and dandy. But after I finished reading a 54-page document on the state of creator marketing trends, I was freaking tired. I was like, I need a nap. I cannot record. I don't want to bring this energy to my podcast. So I took a nap, and today it is Thursday and we are recording, hopefully editing, and hopefully posting all on the same day. But I read the report yesterday and I'm really excited to, simplify it for you, tell you kind of those key insights that maybe you need to know about, as well as give you some small business perspective and tell you what to do next, or give you some ideas for what to do next in your business. And of course, I want to emphasize the importance of building your personal brand now in the beginning of 2025. If you don't have a personal brand, or if you aren't really sure how your personal brand is standing, like how it's working, hopefully this episode will give you some food for thought. And of course, if not, I would love to chat with you in the DMs. Don't worry, I won't pitch you, but I would obviously love to talk to you about that because I love geeking out over personal brands. So let's get into it. This report was done by Creator IQ, and it is literally called The State of Creator Marketing Trends and Trajectory 2024 through 2025. They did this report, and I believe they ran it between January and August of 2024, so fairly current. And they had over 1,100 respondents, and the respondents ranged from brands to agencies, and the smallest being creators. So a pretty good group that they surveyed, right? Pretty good group. So let me actually move some stuff on my screen real quick, just so I can look at the report and my notes and make sure I'm recording all at the same time. Okay. So I'm just giving you some background. I promise it won't all be this number heavy, but I want to give you some background for who responded and just have that as something that you can have in the back of your mind. So 35% of those 1,100 respondents were executives. 20% were in the VP/director role. 34% were in a manager role, and 11% were individual contributors. The industries represented, and again, these are for the most part Fortune 100 brands, so big brands, but industries represented ranged from media and entertainment, software, technology and computing, business, retail, fashion and apparel, health and wellness, beauty, financial services, consumer electronics, food and beverage, education, gaming, home and garden, da-da-da-da-da. Honestly, the list keeps going, but pretty much a lot of different industries were represented in this report, which I love to see. I love to see it. So here are a couple of key stats that really matter that I think put all of this really into perspective for us. So creator content outperforms own content for even Fortune 100 brands. We're talking 12x the impressions, they 17x the engagements, and they were posting 32 times the amount of content, which is crazy. And if we look at this as if we're looking at a very specific brand, let's look at Apple's TikTok and Instagram creator partnerships. 23x their impressions, x their engagements, and 600x their content volume. So creators are helping brands, both big and small, show up everywhere while keeping content relatable and relevant to them and their audience. So right off the bat, I want to really bring this home to us. What does this mean for us as small business owners? What does this mean for you? So number one is you don't need Apple's budget, but you do need authentic and consistent content. That is why creator content is performing better than branded content. I don't know if I've said it on the show. I know I've said it to members of my community, but if we like step back and if we look at a lot of our favorite brands, our favorite musicians, our favorite sports teams, we are becoming less and less about the brand or about the whole and more about the individual. Like if we step back and we think about Taylor Swift and her boyfriend or whatever, fiance, I have no idea, Travis, he was not on anybody's radar until he started dating Taylor. And he is with a big football team. I think the Chiefs, maybe? I don't know. Maybe the Chiefs? I think it's the Chiefs. We're going to go with the Chiefs. He's with a big football company, or he's with a big football team. But people care more about just Travis than they do that overall team. Do you kind of follow what I mean here? So even though we can have a brand name, having sort of a person behind that is what is going to really set you apart this year. And I have a lot more on this coming up later in this episode. So partner with creators allows you to scale your presence without hiring a massive team. What I think is actually really cool about this and what I want to emphasize, and I think authors are doing this really well right now on Instagram specifically. TikTok, I'm not really seeing them do it as well, but on Instagram, they are acting as their own creators. They are posting content like they are their own biggest fan. And I think that is freaking sick. Like they are hyping up their own books. They are posting their spoiler alerts. Not really spoiler alerts, but they're, what's the word? Trigger word or trigger alerts. They are like hyping up their own books. They are doing like their own little trailers. Like I got really big into reading last year. So I've spent a good amount of time on BookTok, like an insane amount of time on BookTok. And I'm seeing authors, like small authors, are acting as their own biggest hype crew. And you can do that too with your own business. And it might not really feel easy at first, but it is something that I think we all have to practice, and we all have to kind of get in this habit of thinking about ourselves as creators and less so as business owners, because yes, we are business owners first and foremost. However, we are also creating content to promote our business, to grow our email list, to increase sales, to build relationships, and ultimately to stand out, right? Like everybody has 1,001 different choices when they are trying to make a purchase decision. And that relationship that you will be building with your audience through your personal brand, through your creator-oriented content, is what's going to set you apart. Last thought here, and then we'll move on. If you already have an affiliate program, I want you to think about how you can engage with your affiliates further. How can you help them create content? Like that could look like giving them a free trial of whatever it is they're an affiliate for if they're not already in it. That could be giving them like a heads up. That could be recording a duet with them. That could be doing a live video. Like there are so many different opportunities that we have to kind of engage our affiliates that I don't think that we as small business owners are doing a very good job at. I'm just going to say it. I'm planning on getting much better at that in 2025, but I've been saying that for years. So will it actually happen? Stay tuned to find out. Okay. Moving on, I want to talk a little bit about ROI and why it matters. I want you to actually hear me when I say this. 94% of brands believe creator content drives more ROI, which is return on investment, than traditional ads. That is insane. That is crazy. And that is up from 74% last year, signaling that creators are no longer optional. They're essential, which means we as small business owners need to step up and act as creators around our own business and around the things that we want to promote and the things that we want to talk about. Mid-tier creators are the sweet spot. So those are creators that have between 10,000 and 100,000 followers. They offer the highest ROI because they have a really tight-knit and engaged community. Established creators, which we're calling 300K to 1 million, are great for really ongoing partnerships and credibility building, which is cool because we can realistically, like we small business owners are capable of working with those mid-tier creators, like the ones from 10K to 1 million or to K. Their prices aren't going to be outrageous. So that is something that we can consider, as well as partnering with people for sponsorships or for doing affiliate campaigns. Like that's not that out of the question, to be honest. And this report didn't go into prices at all, but I just know from working in the space that like those are actually relatively affordable. So, like I said, 94% of brands believe creator content drives more ROI than traditional ads. Traditional ads being things like Facebook and Instagram ads, Google ads, AdSense. We are seeing creators really like pave the way here, right? Examples for content. So these aren't necessarily pairings that you'd always expect. So really don't be afraid to think outside of the box here. So if we go with the media or entertainment space, a food blogger with 500,000 followers who showcases your artisanal sauces if you make like artisanal sauces. In the business or finance space, a TikTok creator in the work from home niche who highlights your productivity tools. Like that's pretty cool. That's something that like we could capitalize on, right? We work from home. Gaming. So a mid-tier streamer on Twitch who loves your ergonomic office chair makes sense, right? Like a gamer, they're sitting in a chair, ergonomics, they're important. Like that partnership makes perfect sense to me, right? But you wouldn't really think about it like off the bat, right? You wouldn't really sit down and think about it. But when you think about it, oh my gosh, this is so funny. I should have more coffee today. But when you think about it, it makes perfect sense. In the lifestyle or travel space, a micro influencer sharing Airbnb style stays paired with your cozy decor line. Like all of that is pretty freaking sweet. And all of that is stuff that if we take that as inspiration, we can easily apply that to our own business when pitching brands. If we want to get into kind of like the user generated content space, get into like sponsorships and stuff like that, we can think about stuff like that. Like we can actually take that and say like, okay, I work from home. I could partner with a walking pad company, right? Like thinking a little bit outside the box, but what's the most important to the brand is obviously that there is a audience overlap there. And I really want to take a beat to talk about personalizing and prioritizing your personal brand. So I've got a few different things here in no particular order, but it's really worth taking a beat to talk about. So the creator economy is crowded, and how are you going to stand out? Well, with your story. And with more brands willing to leverage creator partnerships, it's getting harder to compete on just having good content alone. You really have to have an audience that connects with you, your values, your expertise, your personality, and not just your product. And your product it can be anything. It can just be you and the content that you create. If you're only a content creator, it could be your product, like your physical product, your digital product, your services. It can be like whatever it is that you sell, whatever it is you're putting out into the world. Well, number 2 is creators trust people, not logos. Again, if we go back up to 94% of brands see better ROI from creator content because it feels real, we can apply that to our own businesses, right? Like if I step back and if I think about some of my favorite brands, one of which being Day Hair Care. They have the cutest branding, the best smelling hair care. The shampoo is glittery. It fills me with joy every single time I use it. And I think about it, I am much more connected to the founder of it than I am the actual brand and their marketing. I don't follow Day, but I do follow Amber Filler Up, who is the creator of that brand. Like, I love Amber. I love following Amber, but I don't follow Day. I just don't because I don't connect with it. I don't care about the logo. I don't care about their new product coming out. Like I care about it because I'm going to buy it because I love everything I've tried from them. But I care more about Amber, how she's using the products, why she created it, what her day-to-day life looks like. Like I just care so much more about the creator than I do the brand. So as small business owners, we have a unique edge where we are the face of our brand. Even if you are a business brand, you are still the face of your brand, and people are more likely to buy from people that they trust. So as far as future-proofing your business goes, algorithms change, platforms change, but your personal brand stays with you pretty much no matter what. Even if you change your name, which I don't recommend doing, I can riff on that later if you want me to. But algorithms change, but your personal brand stays with you no matter what. So by building your personal brand, you're creating a reputation that will outlast any single product, offer, or trend. So let's go through some steps for prioritizing your personal brand today. Again, kind of in no particular order, but I just want to give you this to kind of think about, journal about, and just kind of reflect on. So number 1 is define your through line. What ties all of your offers together? And a little hint here is it's you. For me, one of my big values is freedom, which plays perfectly into both this brand strategies that stack, because when you have a stacked marketing strategy, you are able to take time away from your business. And it also plays into me being a travel advisor, because freedom, there's so much freedom with your ability to travel. There's so much freedom in being able to work for yourself. I hope you can't hear the motorcycle or whatever it is that's going up and down my road. It is so annoying, and I've been trying to dodge it all day with recording. So we're just rolling with it. Okay, number 2 is showing up authentically. Share behind the scenes stories, wins, and even challenges to make your audience feel connected. Little pro tip here, and it feels kind of weird to be talking about TikTok, but we're going to use platforms like TikTok or Instagram stories to create your unpolished, relatable content. And interestingly, in the report, I saw something about brands expecting to invest more in TikTok content this year, even with that rumored impending ban, which we still don't know what's happening with that. We still don't know. Trump wants to keep TikTok around. There's court things going on. They're appealing. I don't know. I don't know. I personally don't think it's going to be banned, but I really don't know. So yeah, but brands are willing to invest in TikTok this year. So that is a good sign in my opinion, because I'm sure these Fortune 100 companies and these big creators probably know a lot more than you and I do about what's going on with TikTok and if it's actually going to be banned or not. Okay, so number 3 is consistency is key. So pick 1 or 2 platforms to show up regularly with content that aligns with your personal brand. Your personal brand doesn't have to be something that is all over the place. It can be something that you just work on building in one particular place. Your marketing, however, for your business should be spread. You should have multiple different top of funnel tactics that are filling your middle and bottom of funnel every day, every week. Next is collaborate. So I want you to really get outside of your comfort zone this month or this year and partner with other creators or small business owners to cross promote your brand. Some examples are hosting a joint webinar, doing a TikTok duet, or co-creating a limited time product. And if you're kind of I don't have time to show up authentically, you can batch your content. You can just do some B-roll every now and then. But I really want you to not be afraid to tell your story and to showcase your team, because your personal brand is the heartbeat of your business. It's what keeps your personal brand is the heartbeat of your business. It's what keeps people coming back. Even if your product line evolves or your services shift, your audience wants to connect with you, the person, not just the product, and that person is you. So what should small business owners do right now? So I've got a few steps here for you to think about if you want to dive into some creator-oriented marketing. I think this is especially going to be good for physical products. However, there are definitely ways you can leverage it as a digital product consumer or creator as well. So number 1, start small and think big. So partner with a micro or mid-tier creator in your niche. They don't have to have a ton of followers, but they do have to have a good engagement rate. So how do you find the right creator? I have worked with a number of brands over the years, and I have done some creator influencer marketing campaigns here and there for certain launches and stuff like that with them. Here's a couple pieces of advice that I have for you. Number 1 is look for authenticity and look for alignment with your brand values. That is going to be so big for your small business. You don't necessarily have to have somebody with the biggest follower count. Really, their engagement matters so much more. Are people commenting? Are people sharing their content? Are they commenting back? Are they on Instagram stories? Are they active? Are they showing that their community cares about them? If not, you might want to pass. Number 2, get creative with the content. So for example, Apple saw a 683x content volume because creators are doing what brands can't, and that is showing up authentically in ways that are really relatable and relevant to their audiences. So use creators to expand your reach beyond just one platform. So think about things like Reels, TikTok stories, and, really the sky's the limit, but get creative and allow your creators to get creative with content if you are choosing any sort of partnerships. Number 3 is to diversify your partnerships. Mix creators from different niches to experiment with what works and what resonates and what brings in sales, what brings in traffic. So those are some 3 little quick tips on what you can do if you want to get into this, if you want to start finding influencers and creators to partner with in your business. So I want to leave you with this. The future of creator marketing and what it's really looking like. So we are at, for sure, an inflection point with the creator economy, because it's not just a big community and big economy, but the creator economy is really maturing and more brands are integrating creator marketing into their core strategies. Couple things that you can take from this. Number 1, I would definitely be building my audience. And number 2, I would definitely not be afraid to play with creator marketing as both a personal brand and as a business owner. I would really play with it. And some predictions for 2025, we're going to see more niche platforms creating opportunities for brands to connect in new ways. So this could look like, TikTok still being around, but like there's another app coming on the market. I believe they're aiming for March, called Nebula. I believe it's called Nebula. I think so. It's videos just like TikTok is. But I think as we see different platforms come up, and we have like Blue Sky right now, there's going to be different opportunities to connect with different audiences. And that is something that we should all using. I think we're also going to see an AI-powered tool that's going to make it so much easier for small businesses to analyze creator partnerships and track ROI, which really will enable us to play on a much smaller scale, but it's really going to enable us to play in like these creator spaces. Businesses that don't embrace this trend may struggle to connect with future customers. That just is what it is. Like, people are not about business brands. They are all about personal brands. They are all about connection. And that's what we're all really craving these days. And future-proofing your business with staying flexible and focus on building genuine relationships with your audience and really working on that authenticity and that trust so you can outlast the algorithm or any platform changes, platform trends, and really work on diversifying your message to as many places as possible. All right, wrapping up. If you have ever felt overwhelmed trying to do it all, I want this to be your permission slip to stop, because content isn't just something you do. It's something that you can share, and it's something that you can collaborate on. And partnering with creators is truly a cheat code to making your brand feel human and approachable while also saving your sanity, which I think we can all use. So again, creator marketing is exploding, and personal brands are your secret weapon in this new era. Prioritize your personal brand, and that is how you are going to stand out, build trust, and future-proof your business. So I want you to just start playing with your brand. Just start having fun with your brand, and don't be afraid to maybe dabble in some creator marketing. I'd love to know what you think about this episode. This was obviously very different than when I normally record, so feel free to slide into my DMs on Instagram at Victoria H. Boyd, and I will see you in the next episode.